We should say that data released by the Department for Work and Pensions shows that in July 2025, there were almost 1.3 million foreign nationals claiming universal credit.
Yes, at the same time, illegal migration is increasing. A new milestone has been hit today. Yes, now over 50,000 migrants crossing the Channel since Labour took office.
Well, the number was reached after 430 migrants made the journey yesterday, but the Prime Minister says he is confident, somehow, that the government will reduce those small boat numbers.
And Kemi Badenoch, the leader of the opposition, spoke to Christopher Hope, our political editor, a little earlier. She's got some new ideas on how to accommodate illegal migrants and asylum seekers in this country. Mark White's with us, our Home and Security editor. She's talking about things like camps, she's talking about things like detention centres, talking about how the cost of hotels and also the safety issue is very bad. She also says HMOs are the worst of all solutions.
Yeah, we'll get on to Kemi's comments in just a sec.
Oh, sorry. I jumped the gun, did I?
No, not at all.
Something's happening because Mark White has two mobile phones in front of him.
What's happening?
So we know that there could be some news.
Well, it's only telling us what we know and what we broadcast on this channel last night, that we'd passed the 50,000 mark. Everybody else now breaking it because the official Home Office figures have come out.
Right.
They show 474 migrants crossed in 8 small boats yesterday, taking us over the 50,000.
Well, can we just make a bit more of a fuss of that? When the news breaks, it breaks here first, Mark. So we knew this yesterday, didn't we?
Yeah, I'm almost 24 hours ahead of time.
That's good.
Because we have a wonderful producer, Chris, who is out every day that there are small boat crossings on the cliff top overlooking the harbour and literally with a clicker filming and counting every migrant as they come off the boats. So in a day when you may get 700 or 800, he is only ever out by 1 or 2 over the course of that day.
Mark, remind us, if you would, what was the number that we reported last night at around, gosh, it was just after 8 o'clock, wasn't it? Compared to what the Home Office has now officially got published in the last few minutes on their website?
Well, that was slightly, there was a late arrival, so it's going to differ. But we broke that we'd gone over 50,000 by 50,224, I think we were up. We then crossed to about 50,300. And then this morning and into this afternoon, Chris tells us that just under 300, 298 to be precise, have been landed at Dover. So that's what, 50,600 now. And there's still 2 more small boats out there making their way to UK waters. So
right
at
now.
least another 100, to add to that. So
Wow.
Using the internet without a VPN, a virtual private network, is a bit like taking to the road without car insurance. All it takes is one unlucky moment to cost you a lot of cash. This video's sponsor is Private Internet Access. They are the VPN to help keep you safe. Click the link in the description below to find out why over 30 million people have downloaded PIA to protect themselves online. A virtual private network is an app that hides your IP address and helps keep your data private. When you're browsing the internet at home, you give up a large amount of data to businesses, to shops, and indeed to social media giants too. Hackers have the ability to steal your personal data with ease, including sensitive information such as passwords, keystrokes, and even your personal photos. Private Internet Access helps protect your personal data by encrypting your internet connection to keep your data out of the hands of cybercriminals. And it's not just hackers either to be concerned about. Information can be censored too. When Canada passed their C-18 bill, social media giants decided to ban news content on their platforms. But PIA can protect your ability to consume the news and content you love. Private Internet Access is available for Windows users, Mac OS, Android, Linux, iOS, and you can use one PIA subscription to protect an unlimited amount of devices. And we've got a huge GB News discount for you too. Click the link in this video's description and you'll get a massive 83% off PIA. That's under £2 a month, the price of a coffee, and you'll get an extra 4 months completely free on top. Also, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee too. Visit piavpn.com/GB News to start protecting yourself digitally today.
No, I mean, it is easy. I mean, it's
like Groundhog Day,
I
isn't
don't
it?
want to bring up a Stalin quote, but I will.
What?
You know, Stalin said, one death is a tragedy, a million deaths is a statistic. And when we're talking about these numbers, and we just talk about the numbers each and every day, oh, another 600, another 1,000, another... You can just lose the scale of this in and amongst the numbers. But let's be clear, each one of these individuals who come over, each and every one of them is a hotel space, is a stipend on a government debit card to spend money however they want each and every week, is new clothing for these people, and all of the bells and whistles that many councils provide, whether it's art classes or free e-bike rides and everything else. I mean, these all are individuals coming across, most of whom, I'm going to say it, even though lots of people will deny it, are economic migrants, and each of them is a significant cost to this country.
You make a very good point. And on the economic migrant point, I absolutely concur with you, having for many years now been a regular visitor on the other side of the channel and interviewing these people and interviewing them when they've got here. And the vast majority have told me that they're not fleeing war zones, but they are coming for a better life, leaving behind them wretched conditions and dysfunctional governments often, but not really someone that you would consider to be a refugee fleeing a direct war zone. That changed in the years that ISIS was in operation, and we saw a significant number from Syria coming over, for instance. But for the most part, I would assess most of those coming over as economic migrants as well.
And a lot of these people, I mean, you can't blame them as individuals. I mean, if you come from a sub-Saharan African country,
I think you can, really.
And you have, you know, you're living on $1 or $2 a day, and you don't have much economic opportunity. You are looking for a better life, and you have these people telling you this is the way to have a better life. You get on this boat, and you'll have nicer living quarters than you've ever enjoyed ever before in your life. You'll have all of these things provided for you out of the generosity of the British government, and it almost seems semi-official, because you get on the boat and the boat doesn't just rock up on a beach and you run off. No, you're picked up by the British Coast Guard, and then you're processed by the British asylum system. You're told exactly what to say, and then you're given all of this stuff from the British taxpayer. I mean, to someone travelling from sub-Saharan Africa, not a war-torn country, but a poor country, might think, well, this is the way to get a better life, and it seems so official.
Well, I do agree that I don't blame people for wanting to better their lives when they come from countries that, you know, their existence is often squalid. I do blame people that pay criminal gangs to smuggle them over multiple countries and then to break into our country. That should not be happening. And our government, successive governments, have failed to get to grips with this, and they continue to do so. And you're right about the numbers. You know, we can get lost in the sheer volume of numbers, but actually, just today, in the number that have arrived so far, 298, that's more than a hotel full. Somewhere in the country.
And I'm sorry, but besides the economic cost, I think a lot of people's worry is the safety element and the fact we're supposed to believe that somehow our government and local communities are going to be able to integrate all of these men from vastly different cultures, different backgrounds, different countries, just suddenly rocking up on the shores. I mean... Anyway, we continue, don't we? We battle on, Mark, and it's good to at least show this issue for what it is.
And finally, that point that we were going to talk about
Kemi Badenoch, yes.
on what Kemi Badenoch had said about camps, you know, migrant camps possibly being the way forward. I think she's got something there. Migrant hotels are clearly not acceptable to people right across the country. Putting them in, you know, council houses of multiple occupation in a street near you is clearly not acceptable for the vast majority of people in this country. So actually, you know, purpose-built or specially adapted camps with maybe Nightingale-style porta cabins and things like that that could be used to house these migrants is probably the way forward. However, what I will say is the Conservative government, the last time they were in power, did then bow to a lot of public pressure on the use of former military bases to house these migrants. And I think that was probably a sensible solution. Of course, there are some people in that local area who are not pleased about it.
Yeah.
But as least worst option, it was probably the one.
OK.
Well, we'll